Center now by funny car number 1 qualifier Matt Hagan, who posted a 3.882 second pass at 331.12 miles per hour in his Mopar Rocky Boots Dodge Charger RT. This is your 23rd number 1 qualifier of your career and 2nd of the year. Q3, you had a little mishap there and went straight down after the burnout, and then you put on a storm there in Q4. Did you guys plan on doing that? Did you feel the urgency to do that?
Well, I mean, obviously Q4 is kind of not usually the time that you do it. I mean, it's always Friday night, you know, late when it's cool out and the track's great. And it was getting to that point, and we had a great racetrack underneath us, and the weather seems to be there. But I didn't really know that we were going to be pushing that hard, so to speak. So, you know, I know Dickie came over the radio and said, let's push the primary and see what we can do. And Newt was making some calls up there on the racetrack as far as where we kind of needed to be. But, you know, I mean, yeah, Q3 kind of messed everything up. I mean, obviously we'd like to have that run back, but, you know, when you go out there and do a burnout and you pull brake pressure and there's nothing there and you can't get the car stopped, my first instinct is not to back up and run over my crew, you know. So, you know, and then you still have Timmy over there and you're trying to get off the racetrack and, you know, be respectful for him and his run and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it was, well, you know, it's my boss's car and my crew chief's car, but when they put the body down, it's my car and it's my decision what happens out there. So, you know, I'm glad that we got off the track and didn't try to attempt to run. I mean, I don't want to, you know, try to stop something at 300 miles an hour with no brakes. So, you know, got that back, got a new master cylinder on there, and, you know, and come up here and we were a little bit behind the 8-ball trying to do, you know, this and that, and trying to figure out where we needed to be since we didn't get that earlier run. And, you know, Dickie Venables, that's a guy that, you know, you can't really count him out. I mean, you know, there'll help be some cars out here that get hot and they get cold and they get hot, you know, but he's just always so very, very consistent. And he does a great job. He's very methodical, and I'm very glad that he's my crew chief. I mean, he's one of those guys that, you know, he's steady and efficient and does a great job, very smart and driven. So that's why we're number 1 today.
Every weekend it seems like we're saying, wow, funny car is just blowing time speeds out of the water. This is the quickest field in history. Are you guys surprised at all anymore, or is this just everyday business now?
Well, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, it all comes down to these headers. A lot of it has to do with the headers, and as you can see, they're melting the paint and the stickers and everything else off the bodies of these cars, and you know, and they're trying to keep them on there. But you know, it just a lot of little things here and there, and some guys' combinations work a little bit better with those headers and some don't. But you know, that was really the game changer from Sonoma on last year. Just going into the Western Swing, and you know, Beckman had the laid back headers on, and it's nothing new. I mean, Dickie Venables was showing me this morning pictures of guys back in with the Chi-Town Hustler and different things where they had laid back headers back in the day. So it's not like it's some new invention, but we're just kind of coming back around to it. We're reinventing the wheel, and there's so many little ins and odds here that are making that car, you know, run that much faster just by changing the angles on that stuff. So yeah, that's the game changer. That's why these funny cars are so competitive right now. They're such a tight field. It looks like pro stock out there. It's craziness, but it all comes down to the parts and pieces that we have in front of us and just tweaking them a little here and there.
Questions for Matt?
Not the team. You personally, how important was that run to you personally?
Personally, it's huge. I mean, you know, we have everything about it out here is momentum. You know, and I have to have good momentum. I have to have good lights. I have to have confidence going into Mar. And if being number 1 qualifier doesn't give you some confidence, then there's something wrong with you. So that is a huge, you know, run for us, for me personally, for my team, for everybody. I think that you build off of that tomorrow. You sleep better tonight. You're not, you know, scratching your brain like, oh wow, who do we got, and hope we can get down the racetrack. You know, you feel like you got a really strong race car. The racetrack's out there is really good, and the weather should be cool tomorrow. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. A lot of times when you're number 1 qualifier and you come out here and you got a fast race car, it's hot out, you know, and then you got to learn to pull these cars back on race day and different things like that. And sometimes it's harder to pull a car back this fast than it is to make one go faster, I think.
You think?
I don't know. I just drive.
Any moment during the run that kind of tightened you up just a little bit?
Well, it was making some moves on the big end down there after the clutch went 1-to-1. You know, a lot of times that these cars with the headers now, you can't be behind the car. I mean, once you're behind it a little bit, it continues to push you out of the groove. So it's not like before when we had a lot of downforce and you could just yard it back where you need it to be. It'll still make some moves and do some stuff to help, you know, try to come back. But there's been a lot of runs sometimes that your arms are crossed all the way up and it's pulling you, it's still dragging you over, and you're like, well, I only got so much real estate here. So it's just one of those deals where you have to be with the car with these headers on there. It makes them a lot harder to drive. I think you see a lot of guys out here almost hitting walls and me and different things like that. So there's just a lot of stuff going on out there, and you got to really be on top of it.
a lot harder to drive, but more exciting to finish?
It's always exciting to finish. I mean, it's that's why I drive a funny car. I mean, you got an opportunity to you know, really have a 10,000 horsepower, you know, motor sitting in your lap. It's not behind you. It's not, you know, it's not back there. If something goes wrong, it's, you know, okay, you know, we can leg this out. You learn in a funny car real quick when it's good and when it's bad, because if you value your skin in it, you know, so it's to me, that's an adrenaline rush. You know, you get pumped up and you have to know what you're doing, and you have to have a good team behind you. When you make a mistake in a funny car, it's a lot more, I guess, devastating, you know, for the driver if something does go wrong. So they're a handful. That's why I love driving them. They're, you know, such a short wheelbase, and just you're always in there. You never have the same run back to back.